Hey everybody, welcome in. Now, today we're going to have a little bit of a special episode, and that's going to be a bit of a revision of my account as a free-to-play player for nearly a year and a half. Now, one more month's time, this is the start of August now, one more month's time will be a year and a half since the limited release beta opened when I first started playing, and I've just been holding off doing this because I know there's a lot of people out there who have said, well, you're a free-to-play player, it's different since the beta, and there's more this and more that, more gear. Now we've got to the stage. In the original start of the beta, we didn't get much. It was super limited, everything, and that was okay. Because it was a new game, it was getting through things, it was sorting out what events were coming up. There was only, the first ever event was a murder event. And I would say 99% of the people in the game were locked out due to the restrictions of going for it and playing at it. And it was crazy. It was crazy. In saying that, the event style to get there took a lot more effort, and it was very fun and rewarding, but you just couldn't progress far in the events. Now, people have been feeling like that in global. But people are catching up, they're getting to max level, the gear situation in the economy has just had a little bit of a tinkering with, so now we're going to get more gear, and so now this is going to be a little bit more relevant to a lot of you. This is my progress, nearly a year and a half in, and check this out, we have got maxed characters, some of the best characters in the game. Now I am missing some of the best as well, I don't have all the best characters in the game. We have got them tier 7, maxed 7-star, and we have got full stones, all of these things, within a year and a half of playing the game. Now, for a lot of you, that'll be about a year's worth of your playing. You could be in a similar position. And yes, it's slow to start. But once you start getting up to the level cap and you start investing into other characters, then you can start progressing more in other events. You can get further, you can get more gear, you can level up more characters. And as long as you make your investments pay off and make sure you invest into things that are going to get you more rewards, you will be able to do this too. Especially with the new economy that has just dropped and everything else in it. So let's go in. We've got Max, Zurg, Anna, Shan. Those are probably like some of the best characters. They are the top tier characters, and they are proving so. And yes, I've got speed. One max speedstone is the only max speedstone I've got. And then I've got Shan and Zurg with full stones, and I've got full stones on others. Now, previously when the game was different, the stones were completely different. Well, the stone relativeness to the game were completely different as well. Speed really only affected your basic, and now it affects the whole game of everything. And previously, like, damage would affect your basic and your specials and everything, so damage was the biggest thing, and that's why I do have quite a few damage stones. Now, let's continue looking through this. I did have, at the time, so back in the old game, Hades was trash, complete trash, and he only became top tier when the game style changed, and they changed from the beta to what is now everyone else is playing in the 5 vs 5. If anybody wants vision and videos of this old footage, check back on my channel. I do have a lot of that on covering on what the game used to be like, me playing through in different strategies of that, and a lot of us loved it. A lot of us loved it. Now, going forward, I do have a lot of characters here, like a lot of other beta players, that are now pretty useless. But through all of our investments, we ended up getting them up, and they're all the farmable characters. So it's pretty much all the farmable characters I have nearly maxed. So let's continue on for this. I'll just count down and count how many max tier 7s we have, and then we'll go back and look over the other different types of characters. So I've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 29, 35, 39, 40, 41. So 41 7-star tier 7s with a tier 7 hero in there, and Simba that is not tier 7 yet. That I could if I wanted to, but it is 7-star. So that is a decent amount of characters. But in saying that, now a lot of these characters are at the very bottom of the tier list. They are some of the worst characters in the game. Pocahontas had her day where she was amazing. Now, I have done a video with her even in this current form of the game, which she did her job. But still, you got to build everything around her to actually use her. Now, a lot of these other characters are still down here, are still pretty trash at the moment, and I can't wait for hopefully buffs and rebalancing. But hopefully we'll get to that. But a lot of these characters, we've got them all up, we've got them ready to use. Now, that is over this last year or more of playing and getting them in there, investing into them, and starting chipping away at these characters. Now, you'll be able to do that too once you've got your main team focused, then you work on which other ones you need for events, and you'll probably be able to have, by the time you're a year and a half in, you'll probably have better characters than I do, because there'll be more relevant event ones than I have as well. So I've got my Ian and Barley pretty much ready to go, 7-star, tier 7. I'm just holding off because I'm prioritizing other events. I'm nearly at the stage where I can get nearly everything on them and for them, but is it worth it for me, or do I get more out of other events? And likewise with Jafar, I would love to have all these characters up as well, and hopefully with this new gear coming out, I'll be able to invest more into more characters and have more fun with all these characters I do have ready. Now, I do also down the bottom here, I've got a bunch of characters like Hops, Hook, Tink, pretty much Christoph, and nearly Sally, but Frozone and Shere Khan with Pete and Sheriff and Bubbles the Clown, and so many others that are ready 7-star, but they're just not worth taking up to tier 7 with the limits, and I'd probably rather take some of these new characters. Now, this is where I'm gonna keep saying is that for these new event characters, I do have Ian and Barley right on up there because I invested heavily into them. Now, with my Incredibles, I haven't really been investing heavily. I've been investing wisely into them, but now they're about 5-star in 6 months' time. So I'll probably be able to keep leveling them up and keep going forward, and then when they become farmable, we'll probably be able to finish them off. But for now, I can do my job with them, and I would expect Mr. Incredible and Violet to become farmable in the near future, like we saw with Ian and Barley, and then Dash and Jack still being the event rewards. That's kind of what I'm thinking. And now, going forward, Moana's just come out, and I've only just unlocked her. I didn't get to unlock Lotso and Big Baby, and I had to put a hold on some events because I can't invest and go all in on everything. I've got to choose my events, which I want to invest into. And I went all in on Gizmo Duck because I love Scrooge. I love his combos with Scrooge, and I had a lot of these older tech characters. They got the tech crew. So it was worth investing into him because he would play a big role in what I've already got. And as well as moving forward with Hero, he's the best character in the game. He's tech as well. I'll be able to move on more and more and more going forward with all of these events. So that's kind of where I'm leaning my investment towards. Whereas Incredibles have kind of fallen off, and they fell off kind of fast. Frozen, I've just... Even though I went and pushed for a 6-star Elsa to unlock her, I kind of wish I didn't. Even during the event, I kind of wish I didn't. Now, she is good, and I could make her, if I tier 7 her right now, I would probably better compete with a majority of other decks and team comps, even with a 6-star. But I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a fan of the team. It is OP. It is 100% OP, but I have more fun going through other builds to try and combat them rather than just joining a bandwagon just because how OP she is. Now, in saying that, if I didn't, I probably would have been invested into some other events if I didn't put so much into trying to get all the other characters up. And now I'm just leaving them sitting there until the Frozen event comes back. And then when the event comes back, hopefully we'll see again some like 2 times pulls. I just didn't want to waste my energy farming them when I've got them so close. No, I just want to get them to a stage where I can finish them off when the event comes without over investing, and then when the event comes and gives free tokens, I'm not wasting those. So that is kind of my theory here, and since I'm not really using them, they can just sit there in the back burner until it is time to use them. Now, Chunk, I would really like to invest more into him. Now, no, don't take me all the way down to the bottom top here. All right, now Chunk. So I'm investing into him, and since he has double spots to farm him, I am trying to go all into him, and I do have some strategies and decks and team comps that I would like to use with him. And then when the Lotso event comes back around, I'll be able to get some of those. But in saying that, as we've seen, they're kind of underpowered. Now, I do want to go all in on Bubbles and Gantu. We've seen how good they can be, and they're just for Bubbles. He's not too bad at farming in either. I've nearly got him 5-star. He's only been out for a month or so. Now, as far as where's Gantu? There he is. As far as Gantu's gone, I've gotten myself to about 3-star, and then with the Stitch Tower, getting his tokens from there, being able to push him up to a 4-star, hopefully better push him up to a 5-star by the next Stitch Tower, hopefully. But his tokens are slow to get them, so that's kind of where my whole progress is at the moment. And hopefully with this new gear, I'll be able to level up a whole bunch more of these, and if we do have more gear and more to play around with, hopefully you guys will be able to have bigger rosters to play with, kind of like this, especially in another year's time. I would be expecting, we are showing that we're giving more. I'd say you all will be in a highly more likely to be in a position to have rosters, maybe not exactly the same, but quite similar to these, and just invest wisely of where you want to go in the game, what you want to get, what is most important, and hopefully that'll help. Now let's jump across to the spells. I do have all the spells maxed as well, because after a while of beating tower, you just stockpile all of the tower coins, and then you will be able to just get whatever you need when it comes out and max everything. So I have maxed pretty much all the spells except for the ones that are purchasable. So when we get down to here and we see, there we go, Mufasa. So he is currently only available in the Lion King event as in packs, as well as Dad Pants and Dad Moves. So those ones, and now Grandma. So all of these ones I do not have ready to get maxed. Now I could also level up about 2 of these, but I'm just holding off to see what other spells I do want to take up as far as I can for now, until I'm going to use these. Then I'll level up, and I think Horseman will probably be the first one out of the lot, and I'll hold off on Mortal Potion. That's probably the next one I'll do, just until either I'm going to use it, because you don't really get much usability unless you're using Mystics. So 10% chance per Mystic teammate to remove 1 extra helpful effect from adjacent opponents. So it's kind of like, unless I'm running a full Mystic team, it's kind of not that worth upgrading. So I'm just going to hold off on my mats, and it's just about being patient, investing wisely, as I try and teach in this channel. And as a free-to-play character, as a free-to-play player, not a character, as a free-to-play player, you will be able to achieve this too, as long as you're wise and you invest well and you do your best into the game. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that inspires some of you to go in and go forward and do your best in all these different game modes. Now, I will also say, for this, I will show you here in some of the different exchanges, is that now all I'm going through, I do this in my exchange videos, but all I'm going for is gear here, because I've maxed out all these characters, and that is going to help further progress you when you don't need to get characters anymore. Just get in, get gear, done, level up more characters. As far as the tournament exchange, I've got nothing to get in here because I've maxed everything. So hopefully when we get new characters in here, I'll be able to invest into those. And this is going to be a bit more of a bias towards, for me though, because playing in the beta for so long and maxing all these characters, that now I'm just hoarding currency. Whereas for you all, I would probably get who you need and who is important, and then just, you could either try and max out everybody, but I would hold a little bit of currency for anything that might come up in the future that might be worthwhile purchasing, rather than saying investing into Tink or Jangles or somebody that you're probably not going to use much or get much use out of. If you need them, invest into them. If not, hold on to your currency until you have an excess, until you can say max one character. When you get close to being able to max one character with your tournament currency, then start using it. Max out that one character, and then save up. Don't just start investing into a character and then leave them 3 or 4 stars, and then you're like, oh man, I wish I didn't spend those. You just don't need to spend it. And then you'll also get those character tokens from playing the game and from opening other chests and things that you get in the normal game anyway. So hopefully just all these little things will help you get further, go further, get more, get the spell packs. Then once you have passed getting 50% of the spells in here, once you've just reached over 50%, so there is 23 in here. Once you have got, say, 12 of these maxed, then you can either make the choice, or if you've got nearly all of them, more than 12 of them max, 15 of them max, then you might want to start picking which ones you only want to start pulling, and then focus farm your last few this way, rather than continually pulling and not getting any of the characters that you, or the spell tokens that you need. So that is kind of the way I went about doing this, and hopefully that'll help. Hopefully that'll help you with your road ahead over the next year for a lot of you players who have been playing since global launch. And if you've just started playing recently, things to look forward to. So let me know, did you believe that I was a free-to-play player? And do you have hope if you're a free-to-play player? Down below, I want to hear from you all. And if you're not a free-to-play player, how close is your roster to mine? And how far off, for however long you've been playing, how far off is your roster from mine for a year and a half's worth of work? So I want to hear from you all, whether you're free to play, whether you're pay to play, in the comments below. I can't wait to see.